Welcome all, good morning. First of all, I'd like to tell you that you can write into us through Twitter, LinkedIn and Facebook. You'd also be getting a copy of this on the website which you can download later. So this is being recorded. In case you want to write us down for anything else, you can always write it to us at marketing@octane.in. So today we are going to talk about how do we connect with dormant customers and maximize engagement. In this, we're going to talk about a lot of topics on what happens to dormant customers and why do customers become dormant and how can we and what can we do to improve on it and do different things around it. So to set the tone right, I'd like to connect with you on a few questions which are there. For example, it costs around 6 to 7 times more to acquire a new customer than to retain one. So this actually gives you a fair idea about how important an existing customer is rather than going for a one which is not with you and you would want to acquire them. So giving value to your current customers, be it dormant, inactive or active, is very important. The other thing which we can ponder on our thoughts on is we generally tend to lose around 20 to 40 customers, 20 to 40% customers annually, which means we put them in the dormant bucket or in an inactive bucket. So this is a huge number, and today's webinar is all about how can we minimize that number and lead towards a better ROI generating email marketing. So moving on to the next slide, let's talk about what is a dormant customer. A dormant customer is the one who is not responding to your emails, does not care about any communication being sent. And why do customers become dormant is something which we'll read in the subsequent slides. One is email fatigue. Now this is very important. In email fatigue, what happens is people go ahead and bombard, or marketers go ahead and bombard the user with a lot of emails, though they're all registered emails, subscribed emails, but the customer is getting a lot of emails which are not of his use most of the times. They're not even relevant. They're not even personalized in the right manner to give the user a very customized kind of a communication. So when that happens, there are a lot of emails that go out. The customer tends to feel that fatigue and later on ends up in a customer not even bothering about opening that email, or for that matter unsubscribing. Unsubscription is anyways in India is a very less used thing in emails. People generally tend to, it's seen that the user behavior is that people do not go ahead and unsubscribe. They simply stop opening the email. So they will still see it in their inboxes, but they will not do anything about it. So which leaves the marketer in a dilemma to not being able to figure out if the customer really wants my emails or not, but because he's getting those emails, he's not doing anything about it. What should we do? The other thing, why does a customer become dormant, are subscriptions, just the subscribers which are there, complete their goals. Let's say for example, I had an immediate need of, let's say furniture. I go to a website, I compare 2-3 websites for prices and everything else, and we're not only talking about e-commerce here, we can also take examples of education sites, travel portals. I'm looking for a ticket which I go for, I want to do an immediate holiday. I can go and check it out, and my need is completed. After that, I keep getting emails on various deals on holidays or education or e-commerce or furniture or anything else, or electronics for that matter. But my immediate need then is done, and then I do not care about any other email communication that's coming to me. So once the need is fulfilled, a marketer has very less to do. This is something which you cannot prevent. So these are the things which are important to understand that why does a customer become dormant. So we have to find out what are the goals while we are getting them subscribed. This could really help us. We'll talk about that in the subsequent slides as well. Then there's another thing which is, I think, the most important thing, which is irrelevant messages. Now a message can be irrelevant due to a lot of reasons. One is the job role changes. Let's say for example, today I do a lot of online transactions for services or products or anything else because my job demands that. Let's say an IT personnel. An IT person would be ordering headsets at a particular job. He'll be ordering other IT equipment. But then when his job role changes, he moves on to a different level or he moves on to a different role. His need is done, he has done this, and you still keep sending him emails about his previous job role products like headsets or other electronic items or computers or anything else. It becomes absolutely irrelevant for him. The status of people change their cities. So today I'm in Delhi. I'm permanently or primarily talking about e-commerce, especially a daily deal site, wherein whenever you register, you are asked which city do you belong to. Let's say today I put in Mumbai. And then after 3 months or 4 months or a year, I move back to Delhi. then I do not bother to change my city with the portal which I had it in Mumbai previously. In that case, I keep getting emails about Mumbai deals and whatever is nearby in Mumbai. But that's absolutely irrelevant for me, and I do not have time to go ahead and myself make an effort to go to the website, change the city that I have. In that case, the communications become absolutely irrelevant. So we can choose what we want to do here and how can we come out of this situation, because it's extremely important for us to find out. So because there's a lot at stake. Now, when we talked about why does a customer become dormant, we should also talk about what effects does it have on dormant on a business which is digitally associated. In this case, dormant subscribers do a lot of things. One of the things that they do is diminish ROI. How do they do that is very simple. Let's say you have 100 subscribers with you, out of which 50 open your emails and are your active subscribers. But the rest 50 are your dormant subscribers, they do not open your emails. But you still end up sending them emails every day because you don't know what to do with them. So you are generating only 50% of the business through those 100 emails that you send out, but you're still paying for the 100 emails that you're doing. That simply diminishes your ROI. So we'll talk about how can we overcome that. The reputation of the domain through which you send those emails out is also at risk, which is extremely important. We do not pay much heed to it because we don't understand the risk involved in it, but it's extremely risky situation wherein you keep sending out emails from a particular domain, which may also get blacklisted because users do not do any activity on it, or let's say tomorrow all your dormant subscribers want to go ahead and unsubscribe or put it or hit it as spam. That becomes absolute problem for the domain which is being used to send out emails. That's done. Also, which is very much important, and I think this also can be referred back to our annual report that we did in 2013, the inbox delivery that gets hampered. So if I talk about inbox delivery in particular, this is the most dreaded and most worrisome area for any email marketer in the country right now, as what the report says. And these dormant subscribers actually affect inbox delivery as well. I'll give you a quick example. So what happens is, today the spam filters of various ISPs like Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail have become very, very smart, and they want to give their users the best experience. So they try and avoid any email message which is not relevant or on which the user does not actually go ahead and do any activity on. They try and avoid it to the user. They don't give it to the user. So let's say, for example, if they see that the email is not being answered by a particular user or not being opened, after a few days, after a few months, it starts getting into spam automatically. The user does not have to hit spam this message, or they do not have to do anything to avoid that inbox. They simply get into spam folders if the user is not doing anything on the emails, is not opening the emails, is not doing absolutely anything on the emails. So this can happen, and when the inbox delivery hampers, it actually hampers your active lists as well, because the overall behavior of the list which is being monitored by the ISPs also gets noticed, that out of 100 subscribers, 50 are not opening the emails. This may be a reason that the other 50 also don't want it. The person is trying to spam, so this could also be a reason.